Actually, Anjani and I got these curtains the other day from the DWCC. I don't know why someone would have thrown them away. Aren't they in pretty good condition? That's why we're wearing them today. The bottom line of this point is that fast fashion is a problem. Okay? We're all victims of fast fashion, bombarded with sales, day and night, new trends, and brand names. Have you ever thought about what happened to those pastel-colored jeans you threw away that you wanted so much 5 years ago, but it went out of trend? What about that sparkly Ed Hardy shirt that you thought would come back, and you just threw away with the tag on it? While we often consider donating these materials to NGOs or foundations that support a cause we believe in, the collections aren't frequent enough and they're not convenient enough. The aspirational Bangalorean often ends up throwing away these materials into their dry waste. And the problem is that they get contaminated. I've been using the word DWCC a lot because this is where the clothes end up. And for those of you who don't know what it means, it's a dry waste collection center. This is where all the dry waste in Bangalore ends up from residents. These dry waste collection centers go door to door to collect residential waste, and then they come back to the center and segregate it into categories such as plastic, paper, cardboard, glass, and metals. Did you notice what material I didn't mention? Clothing. But what keeps ending up there? Clothing. According to BBMP, 140 tons out of the total daily generated waste in Bangalore is from textiles. Nearly new brand names and new clothing coming in completely usable condition. So like I said before, the problem is that they keep getting contaminated from all the other dry waste. And this is because there's unclean PET bottles with liquids that contaminate them, old food containers that spoil the clothing, and also other materials that can damage the clothes. This is due to a lack of segregation, combined with different environmental factors at the DWCC, such as rodents and water seepage from rain. So 7 months ago, this wasn't quite an apparent problem. Although we never got any revenue from these materials, is because that they were trucked away with other non-recyclables to incineration plants from the cement factories. At this point, they were out of sight and out of mind. These were nearly perfect clothes that were burned for years, only to end up as a pile of ash after one use. Did any of you see a missed opportunity here? So there are 15 to 20,000 waste pickers throughout all of Bangalore. These waste pickers collect waste from the streets, from door-to-door collection of households, and they go back to the DWCC and segregate all this waste by hand. Oftentimes, they are faced with developing back issues and are exposed to different environmental hazards and fumes. And they're only making 300 rupees per day, which is equal to less than $5 US. In 2011, BBMP commissioned DWCs to be built in every ward throughout Bangalore. They provide the land and infrastructure for these projects. The DWCs are operated by waste pickers, scrap dealers, or NGOs. The waste pickers go door to door to collect the dry waste, and they sort it in different categories, like I mentioned earlier. But selling these recyclables is the only revenue stream for these people. Thus, the market value is critical to their income. Speaking of market value, do you all remember what happened last year when China banned foreign imports on recyclables and other goods? China's decision to ban these certain types of plastics and paper became a global crisis and created new problems for much of the developed world, especially the US. For example, in cities in the US, they were forced to send their recyclables to landfills and incinerators while they frantically sought out a new market. Who's the new market? India. Because of this influx of material, the local price of plastics dropped from 47 rupees per kg to only 12 rupees per kg. That's 75% lower than what the original price was. Plastic, which was once the most powerful material of all the recyclables, was gaining no more worth. In fact, there are so many inputs coming in that they're being sent to incineration facilities, which usually was where the non-recyclables and clothing was ending up. Therefore, all the clothing and non-recyclables have been piling up these dry waste collection centers, with nowhere else to go. Global trade is a very unstable revenue stream for these DWCCs and the waste picker community, creating income deficits and making the DWCC operators have to take out loans just to pay their wages of their workers. Do you recall what I said earlier about a missed opportunity? Let us explain. So over the last 7 weeks, our team has been investigating this opportunity, and we've met Krishna, who is a DWCC operator of Ward 112. We share the same vision and the same perspective, that there's a missed opportunity here. Krishna and us have been working as Hasiru Batte to generate new revenue from these untapped markets.
Like the American academic said, a good business can be good at solving social problems. Time and again, scholars, researchers, and businessmen have come to Bangalore and tried to work with the waste management issues. They created apps, innovative business models, and have failed often. Do you know why is that? That's because they've tried to work without including the waste pickers. The waste pickers have been making money from what you and me throw away as trash for years now. We believe that giving them the right tools and training can help them create their own business models and create entrepreneurs from waste
we want CSR fund to support the salary. As Hasiru Batte continues to expand across Bangalore, we want to stay true to our vision. Working under Hasiru Tala, we want to help them achieve their goal of uplifting the waste picking community. And amongst ourselves today, we have our first entrepreneur, Krishna. Thank you.
In 2011, Bangalore started building dry waste collection centers in every ward, run by operators who collect waste from the houses on a bi-weekly basis and make money by selling it. Waste pickers like Krishna are struggling to make ends meet.
पूरा ड्राई वेस्ट रिसाइकलिंग नहीं होता, उसमें एक 20% सेल हो जाता, फिर 80% है ना, वो तो नॉन रिसाइकलिंग, नो रेट, ऐसा मटेरियल ज्यादा रहता.
On the other side of the city, fast fashion rules the market, resulting in more clothes ending up at the DWCCs. Most of these clothes get contaminated and lose their value. It doesn't have to be this way.
Dear residents, please give your unwanted and used clothes separate from other dry waste.
अभी हसिरू बट्टे क्या काम करेगा, सभी घर को जाको हम लोग बताएगा. कपड़ा तुम्हारे पास क्या कौन सा भी कपड़ा रहेगा तो भी तुम्हें ड्राई वेस्ट में नहीं डालना, ऐसा बोल को पहला बार खाली कपड़ा के लिए एक गाड़ी रखो, डोर टू डोर कलेक्शन करेगा. अभी हमारा प्लान है, कौन कौन रैक पिकर है, रैक पिकर कौन काम करेगा, उसको पूरा लेकर को उसको अलग ट्रेनिंग देखो, एक कपड़ा के ऊपर काम कर सकता, वही सेटिंग करता, वही सेलिंग करता.
Can we go thrift shopping?
What?